Guys, welcome back to the Lifestyle Marketeer. Now, in this video, I'm going to take you through the different levels of profit that you can expect to make with a few different, very common types of online business that you perhaps thought about starting before, so you can make an informed decision of what is going to be the best business model for you to start. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Lifestyle Marketeer. Now, before we dive into this topic, I want you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit like, drop me a comment below so you can stay tuned and get updates on all the new videos that I'm bringing out to you. So we're going to dive right in and we're going to talk about some of the most common business models that if you've been thinking about starting a business, that will have almost certainly come across your mind. Right now, the vast majority of people, I've spoken to thousands and thousands of expats now about starting their own business, and I've helped many hundreds of people successfully do it too. Now, a very common thing that is repeated over and over again from anybody who's thought about starting a business is they always revert to this one business model, typically e-commerce, right? They always think that selling things online is going to be the easiest, the best, the fastest route to starting an online business. Now, there's one thing that anybody who is in the e-commerce space typically keeps very hidden and secret from anybody else is actually the level of profit that they make on the revenue that comes into their business, on the sales that they make online. Now, before we dive into that, e-commerce, there are millions and millions and millions of people trying to start an e-commerce store, trying to sell dog paraphernalia, trying to sell cat paraphernalia, trying to sell t-shirts, trying to sell shoes, all of these kind of things. Now, the problem that creates is because there's so many people trying to do it, there is such a large supply and not enough demand. And what that means is prices are driven down. Because there's so many people trying to sell the same thing, people who want to buy that thing have so many options and choices of where they can go to purchase, right? Which means anybody who's selling it needs to drop their prices to try and beat their competition. Now, what that means is very low profit margins. People drive their prices down as low as possible because they have to, because their competition are doing it, right? And their profit margins decrease, which means it becomes an ever repeating cycle of who can sell the same product at the lowest price to make a tiny little bit of profit. So when you see anybody who's in the e-commerce space, saying, oh, we made $20,000 a month, we made $50,000 a month, we made $100,000 a month, the likelihood is that on that number, the profit margins are only really going to be 10 to 15%. So in order to make $10,000 a month, you need to sell $100,000 worth of stuff, typically. And that's much harder than it actually sounds. Now, let's flip the script and we'll talk about digital advertising and the digital advertising business model and how profit margins are so huge, right? Profit is key because profit is the money that you're going to pay yourself at the end of the month, at the end of the year. And that ultimately is the money that's either going to give you the life that you want, or it's not going to give you the life that you want because it's just not there. And there are many businesses that run on a very tiny profit margin, just like e-commerce are the ones that I've mentioned. There are more, but I'm not going to go into them in this video. I'll probably do another video on those as well. Now, let's talk about the digital advertising business model and the profit margins that you can expect when working with clients of your own and running their ads. Now, this is a method, a strategy that I myself and many hundreds of our students have had great success with. And the best part about it is that profit margins are huge. Why? Because you're delivering a service. You're ultimately monetizing knowledge that it might not be there now, you may have to learn it, but you're monetizing knowledge that is inside your head. You're being paid for the value that you provide to the company. There's no large overheads. You've got no office. You've got no stock. You've got no large costs, right? The cost is ultimately you and your time, which means the profit margins are huge. So when you see even myself or our students talk about the amounts of money that they're actually making in their digital advertising business. It's 90 to 95% profit. So if you see one of the lifestyle marketeers talking about how they're making, $10,000 a month running ads for their clients online in their digital advertising business with their lifestyle marketeer, then it's highly likely that $9,000 to $9,500 of that is actually profit, which means they live on in their own life. They actually get to take out every month from their business 90 to 95% of the money, right? Because there's no large costs, there's no stock, there's no expensive overheads like there are with other businesses like dropshipping and e-commerce, selling physical products, right? Now, I'm not going to go hugely into this in too much more detail, but you get the idea now that when you're thinking about what type of business should you start, one of the most important things that you keep in mind is the level of profit that you can actually expect to make within that business, right? And, inside the Lifestyle Marketeer, people who work with me, we focus on the digital advertising, the Lifestyle Marketeer business model, working with local businesses, providing a real killer digital advertising service, bringing in new customers to their business using simple digital ads like Facebook ads, Google ads, LinkedIn, and provide more in value in new customers to our clients than it actually costs them for our fee of $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 per month at a 90 to 95% profit margin. There you go. Now you know one of the most important metrics that you need to look at when thinking about what business you should start and what business is for you. Don't get sucked into the e-commerce hole of very low profit margins. Think about digital advertising. Peace out. See you there.